साउंड चालू करूँ. स्पीकर जाएंगे दिखाता हूँ. काही जात नाही.
Good morning, Komal madam.
Good morning, Dr. Pal. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for us. We have one more speaker who will be joining, Dr. Madhvi Joshi. So we wait for her for a few minutes and then we start.
Sure.
Good morning, ma'am. Madhuri madam, good morning.
Good morning.
While ma'am, can you speak तो मुझे पता चले कि whether am I audible or not.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay, so we start our session today. A very good morning to all the speakers, Dr. Madhuri Joshi, Joint Director GBRC, Dr. Niragi Dave, Assistant Professor at Pandit Dindayal Energy University, Dr. Komal Shah, Assistant Professor at Indian Institute of Public Health, Gandhinagar, all my GUJCOST colleagues, and the participants who have joined us through Google Meet as well as our YouTube channel. I, Dr. Payal Pandit, welcome you all, and I wish you all a very happy International Women's Day. So as we know that 8th March is celebrated as International Women's Day, and it is a day to spread awareness among the people regarding women's rights and gender equality. This day also celebrates the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. It highlights the impact that girls and women worldwide make as say like healthcare workers, caregivers, innovators, researchers, and community organizers. We see them everywhere. So GUJCOST has organized this Women's Day celebration today with eminent speakers through online mode. The celebration is meant to have an interactive session on gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. So the program aims to understand the ground reality of gender equality at different levels, like schools, colleges, university, R&D institutions. So let us hear the voices of women who have excelled in this field. And I now request Dr. Poonam Bhargav, Principal Scientific Officer, GUJCOST, to give the opening remarks or the welcome remarks for this program. Ma'am.
Thank you, Payal. Thank you so much. On this auspicious day of International Women's Day, I welcome one and all and wish everyone a very happy Women's Day. Hope each and every woman can bring out the power they have within themselves. And the theme of this year's International Women's Day is gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. Until and unless there is gender equality, of course, we cannot think about sustainability. Today we have with us three I can say achievers with us who will actually share their thoughts on the theme. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Madhvi Joshi, Joint Director GBRC. I have had the opportunity to work with us. She is one of the finest, strongest women whom I have been associated with, whom I have had the opportunity to be associated with. She has been my mentor also, and she is presently the joint director of GBRC and working on genomics and proteomics. So welcome Madhvi madam and thank you for accepting our last minute invitation for being a speaker on this International Women's Day. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on the same. I welcome Dr. Niragi Dave, Assistant Professor PTEU, who is again one of the achievers, I can say, and she is also working in PDU, a field which is a bit different for women to take on. I also welcome Dr. Komal Shah, Assistant Professor, Indian Institute of Public Health, and she is working in this institute as an assistant professor, and she has a very good idea on the problems that women face, and she'll be talking on the opportunities and challenges for women as researchers. I welcome all my colleagues of GUJCOST who have joined us on this Women's Day to discuss on this theme of gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. So I welcome once again everyone and wish everyone a very happy Women's Day. So Payal, we can begin with our women achievers.
Yes, sure, ma'am. We will like to hear from Dr. Komal Shah, Assistant Professor at Indian Institute of Public Health, on the opportunities and challenges for women as researchers. Komal, madam.
Yeah, good morning, everybody, and thank you for having me here. I thank GUJCOST, Dr. Poonam and Dr. Payal for providing me this opportunity where I can interact with people and on this very good day, I can put my thoughts forward. So thank you very much for having me here today. And I am supposed to talk about opportunities and challenges in research. So let me start with my own journey and give you the brief idea about the few numbers that has emerged recently. Somebody told me that a report has just come and it has stated that only 30% of the women are there in research. So when they summarize the statistics that were given, we realized that from the researcher pool, we have a long way to go. And this 30% was a global data. And I think from India, the data is quite different. So why this is so, and how we can change it, how we can improve the situation, and what kind of challenges we are supposed to face. So that is the area maybe I can put my thoughts forward. Basically, I'll start with my own journey. So I started with my academic career as a biochemist, and just like any other people, I wanted to settle for a good job. And when I went for my further study, like PhD and postdoc, I realized that I think my interest lies in research. At that particular time, the number of opportunity that were given for the women scientists, somewhere down the line, I could realize that maybe it was not something which makes this career very conducive. There was nothing that might encourage us to go for this particular field as a researcher. Everybody wanted to settle down for some job related things, and especially female candidates. So I started exploring the things. I realized that the situation which is there in India, I think somewhere down the line, it is quite similar in other areas, other part of the world also. And that made me realize that I think there are many things that we are supposed to do. We need to work in that direction. So, but when I look back, it's like 10, 15 years back, when I assess the situation which is there right now, the situation is quite different, and it is surprisingly quite good. Thanks to our programs which are encouraging women who have career break, women who might need certain capacity building, women who need training in order to get something in the field of research. Government agencies like GUJCOST, GBRC, TSPTM, and across the globe also, a lot of agency has realized this idea. They have come forward and made this journey not easy, but what you say, quite they have facilitated lot of things. So in terms of opportunity, I think the situation, and I would see the silver line, now we are getting many opportunities in terms of funding, in terms of choosing the area where we want to work, and in terms of dissemination of the knowledge and information. Now a lot of people are approaching, especially women are approaching, even if they have a career break, even if they can't come for a full-time though they don't want to get engaged, but they want to go ahead with the career as a researcher. They do have a lot of opportunity. So what is holding us back? I think we have been feeling this particular thing since long, that we don't have similar kind of opportunities and other things. So somehow it has settled in our mind. And that is why there are certain opportunities we are actually not exploring. So all the women who are out there, I would encourage them that now the situation is quite different. Go forward, interact with people, start working on your strength and limitations also. Build up your things and network, and I think there is nothing that can hold us back. People are stating that still there are challenges in terms of gender equality. I would not straight away say that it is an ideal situation. We might have certain socio-economical, political, cultural biases which might not make our journey quite smooth. But I think if we have strong determination, we can overcome it. So there is a silver line, and there is a brighter future ahead for all the scientists, researchers, and there is no holding back kind of thing. So as a women, I think we can have our network, we can build our empire, and go forward with the things. So I think with this positive note, I would like to thank everybody and take a back seat now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your experience as an individual, because there are many research scholars who are pursuing their PhD and then they are still not sure what career path would lay ahead of them. So it is definitely quite motivating that yes, nothing can hold us back, and a strong determination always helps. Thank you so much. I now request Dr. Niragi Dave for her talk. She is an assistant professor at Pandit Dindayal Energy University, and Madam would be talking about the women as engineers for championing sustainable initiatives. So, Madam, please. Ma'am, your slide is visible, but you are not audible.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this slide is also visible, ma'am?
Yeah, you can take it to full screen mode, ma'am.
Yeah. And Now, is it audible or and visible?
Yes, it's visible, but not in
Yeah,
full
yeah.
screen. But still, it's readable. You can go ahead.
I don't know. It's not coming. I don't know why. Okay. So, thank you very much, Poonam Madam and Payal Ma'am, for inviting me as the speaker for this Women's Day. So, happy Women's Day to all of you. So, it's a great opportunity for me to present myself as an engineer and especially for the sustainable development. Right. So, first of all, before I start my journey, I would like to share some of the screen who are the best engineers and first ever engineers of the world who are also a great uh, successful entrepreneurs and educators of the women's as a women's engineer that at least we know that who are these great personalities that are a multi-dimensional. They are a serial entrepreneur and educators, right? They are a good inventors and pioneers. So, as a woman, it doesn't mean that we have to be at home only, right? So, as if we are getting a good opportunity, if we are getting a well back support, then definitely women can do anything in their life, no doubt. Though they are also a partner, spouse, mother, daughter, friends, and members of wider community, right? So, but if they have learned how to adapt the life and how to twist and turn their life with the professional life and with the personal life, right? So they keep going, then circle back with their stories, offices, priceless mentorship, role modeling, and outreach to their other women also. Okay, so this,
Madam, you are at
uh,
the first slide only. Slide is
yeah,
not changing.
yeah.
You
Okay,
talk. Okay, okay, fine.
I have this. Is this visible now?
The first slide, Happy Women's Day. That
No, I
photograph.
have. No, I have changed the slide.
Okay, you exit the full screen. Now it's there. Now the second slide is there.
Yeah. Okay. So as we know who are the women as engineers and how they have become a successful woman in their life if they have if they got a very good opportunity in that particular with back support, right? So here also, but still as this is a great opportunity that women's day celebration and we encouraging that women should educate, women should do something for their own also, but still we are little lagging about this particular growth story of the woman. But yes, this is the times of India data. As you can see in 2020, about the 25% of the employee are women in the Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft. You can see the percentage. Is it visible, ma'am? Percentage. So you can see that 23%
Yeah.
of the Google and Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft maximum 25% employees are female, then 71% women who have worked in a technology company and who became their entrepreneur also. But as per the United Nations data also, that women constitute nearly about 14% out of 28,000, sorry, 280,000 scientists, engineers and technologists in their research development in India. So here also, there is one growth story about the women who become a successful engineers in their life all over the globe. And you can see that India is the 42% of 42.72% in 2016 and up to 2018. Also, it is a 42.73%. But yes, in 2021 and in 2022 that growth that has become around 45 to 46 percentage. So this is the good achievement as woman we can say in the growth story as a civil, sorry, as an engineer. But yes, of course, based on the engineer, now what woman can do in that sustainable world. Okay, so as a engineer, what the woman can develop the proper sustainable and climate change department. So if we support women in engineering field as well as in sustainable field, they have a very good brain mind and there they have a very good innovative solutions for the complex problems which world is facing. Like for example, that Stanley Hall, who discover the bulletproof fiber, right? And right now that soldiers all over the world, while that soldiers are protecting from them. Okay. Another example, that is a Josephi, who invented the dishwasher, which is also very full helpful for the woman as well only. So more women will get involved in sustainability and taking the lead in the fight against the climate change for a profit, non-profit for the society. Then Women in Sustainability and Environment was formed to advocate for women as consumers. So women have a vital role in environmental management. Their full participation in essential to achieve the sustainable development. But yes, of course, in engineering, it is critical to achieve a global sustainable development goals by 2030. We have a very good sustainable developer also as an engineer, woman engineer, who are many women. They have been overlooked for the patents prizes in favor of their supervisors, right? Okay. They have also changed the climate department. They have also done so many research on the sustainable developments, and they have changed the country as well. So in both the as well as the cities, metro cities as well as rural areas, okay, that women often shoulder a greater burden as a result. What then? Meaning we can bring unique perspective to developing a impactful sustainable solution if we support the women as well as. So as women have an important contribution to make in building a more equal world if they just need a equal chance to do so. So yes, of course, yet world has to encourage a lot to women for the same situation. And in front of that, if I share some of my experience about this as a woman, I have faced also lot of difficulties, right? But yes, based on the parent support, I could able to a good civil engineer. Yes, of course, initially I do not want to become a civil engineer. Okay, I wanted to do my BSc, but my parents were insisted me that yes, you please go to engineering field. They have insisted me like anything. No, I do not want to go to hostel life. So yes, of course, but based on their support, I could able to be a very good civil engineer, and I have studied 4 years in hostel life. So lots of difficulties have occurred, but yes, we are as stronger compared to men. Okay, so after the civil engineering, I have done my MTech, and throughout my PhD journey, my husband and my parents has support me a lot. Therefore, now I am at a place where I am really deserve for this place. Okay, and now what I am as an engineer, I am right now I am in the same focus that to change the sustainable world, and I my working area is also the same which I am working. And thank you very much for the GUJCOS who has funded me on my ideas, which is completely based on the sustainable ideas which I am working on to change the that climate and to convert the waste material into the waste material, which will also helpful to the environment people also. Okay, and all over the globe, if we are getting the success to change this kind of sustainability, then definitely world can be a very good place, right? So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. And you really mentioned very nice, very good statistics, as well as the names of few inspiring women who had succeeded through tough times and made their name in the world.
Yeah.
So, and we see that there are very good number of women in big companies like Google and others at the international level. So, that is a true fact. And like a supporting environment is really very important, wherein we get the due support from family as well as from the institute where we are working. So that will help us grow a lot. So thank you very much for your brief presentation. And now I welcome Dr. Madhvi Joshi, Joint Director, GBRC. Ma'am, we request you to throw light on achieving the gender equality and women empowerment, especially in the field of research. We would like to know what more can be done to inspire women to pursue research.
So thank you very much, Payal. And on the outset
Sorry,
of
Niragi ma'am, can you please stop sharing your slides? Yeah, thank you. Sorry, ma'am, to interrupt.
so first of all, to all the participants and the women out there, very happy International Women's Day. And thank you very much for organizing, this program where we are trying to discuss some of the issues which are related to women empowerment in the area of research. So, in the beginning, I would like to extend again my thanks to Dr. Poonam Bhargava and Dr. Payal Pandit for organizing such an apt event. So when we are talking about gender equality, and specifically, my background is from the biological sciences. So if I would analyze, the scenario is inverse, right? When we are talking about the men who are pursuing biology or biology related fields like microbiology, biotechnology, actually the gender proportion is inverse. If you look at a class of 100 on an average in undergraduate colleges, there will be more girls and very less males. So today, even I think if you would have seen some of the newspapers, they have stated that overall in India we have more women per thousand men, which is a very great achievement. And same is a story in case of females who are pursuing biological sciences. So around 80 to 85% would be women. But if we progress, towards a master's, I can recall in my own master's, we had a batch of 10 students only, and all the 10 were women. So we know that women are very, studious. They are very, usually they will take everything very seriously. And you will see that there are more number of girl students who are excelling up to the master's level. But when we talk about, the societal circumstances, and as you start moving towards the research directions, how many of these women are actually culminating themselves into a good research scholar, or maybe, doing PhD? So straight away from, I guess, 85% up to master's level, in biological science, you would see that the scenario is getting, changed. In PhD, you would see that around 50-50, in some universities, or in some universities, even up to 60-40%, you would see female is to male ratio. And in that also we see that because this is the age while you are trying to perceive your PhD, this is the age where mostly, the Indian parents would think of settling their girls for the marriage function, and due to the marriage and other activities, they would drop out. They would not complete their PhD. However, with persuasion and determination, few of them they are able to complete, or say they are able to complete PhD. But after that, when you talk actual about the research scenario, forget about the global scenario, but if you look at any Indian national institutes and you analyze, the percentage of researchers in terms of gender, for example, male and female, you would see hardly 20 to 30% would be women, and the rest all would be the men. So one very important point of introspection over here is that how are we able to, lose these many potential women candidates over a period of time who are actually pursuing research as a career? And of course, when you are talking about research as a career, there are so many things that come along. First and foremost thing is that you cannot have a defined time. You cannot have holidays. For example, when we were working in GBRC and currently also for the COVID pandemic, all of you might have, had holidays during the lockdown period, but we didn't had a single holiday. In fact, even on Saturday, Sunday, our work profile had increased. So at a quiet point of time, it becomes very, very challenging, being a married woman, having a family responsibility, then slowly having a responsibility of a kid. This becomes, little challenging. That how can you contribute constantly towards your research career, which typically falls into the no time zone. I mean, there are no time scales where you think that you will be able to work. Now, in this situation, if we have to talk about encouraging women for pursuing research, because genetically or inheritedly, women can do very good research. I tell you, this is not out of my feminism story that I'm trying to portray over here, but this is because women are able to do multitasking at the same time. They are able to pay attention to minute details. They are able to organize the things which are inherent properties. Genetically, we have been imbibing these qualities, which are very, very relevant and important when we are talking about a good researcher's quality. Now, in this connection, as Dr. Komal also mentioned, that Government of India as well as Government of Gujarat has tried to incorporate many schemes through which they are encouraging the entry of women in science. Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, for example, has specially launched a Gati scheme, which specifically talks about gender equality in the scientific institutions, and they are encouraging institutions to promote a policy over and above, the reservation quota that is around 33%, which is there for women. They want to encourage women to pursue more science. If you today also look in other area other than biological engineering, for example, ISRO, we have seen that there are many women scientists who are contributing to their best of the capacities, not only in the biological sciences, but also they are building missiles, they are building satellites, they are leading the very prestigious missions like Mission Mars and other things. So with this, I think, India overall has never to an extent created a great barriers. In the ancient time also, we had quite a few female scientists whose names were like Panini and other that we were referring to. So, in the last, I would like to say that one thing which is very, very important is determination of an individual researcher and making them aware about, what miracles they could do if they become researchers. And I'm sure GUJCOST is doing a lot more awareness programs for encouraging girl child to pursue research and further scientific educations. So together with our efforts, brick by brick, step by step, I think we will be able to achieve the gender equality in research field as well. So with this, I would end my talk over here. And thank you once again, Dr. Poonam and Dr. Payal, for organizing this event and giving me an opportunity to interact. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Yeah, and it's really true that step-by-step growth matters. So, and yeah, multitasking, being organized, and minute observations, these are definitely the wonderful traits of women that can lead us forward. So, ma'am, from suppose as a science and technology department perspective, uh, what would you suggest, like this, any kind of a scheme that would benefit the women go out of the house and approach the hospitals due to the COVID scares. So, what do you suggest for women? Maybe is it some kind of a helpline that can help their address their health issues, for women who cannot venture out. Uh, what could be done for them? Komal, madam, are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I couldn't get back to you for the last statement.
Yeah, it was like the health perspective are at times for women ignored. So, being at Indian Institute of Public Health, especially this was the scenario during the COVID time, wherein women didn't venture out to have the medical facilities. Or so, what is your take on that?
Yeah, it is such an important question, I think, that you have floated. I have earlier worked with the cardiac research centers also. And let me tell you this thing, this is something which is currently prevailing. And since years, we are seeing like experiencing this. Certain statistics which tells that this disease is something which is less prevalent in women. But when we went into the field, when we were actually dealing with the data, we realized that that is not the situation. The situation is that they are not being getting that attention, what we call as diagnostic facility, screening facilities, and then proper management. So they themselves are either not coming up, or there is no what we call societal and a family cultural support for this kind of things. We have been like taught, and we have been like trained like that. So first the rest of the members of family comes into picture, and then as a female we come into picture. Though that's a bitter reality. Until unless we accept it, I guess we cannot move forward. So this is something we saw as a very striking feature in the NCD background, cardiac facility. I could sense it. Moving ahead with the COVID situation, I think there was no change in that situation. Lot of our patients, they did not came forward for either testing, or they did not get an equal opportunity in terms of getting the facility. So yes, it is a big problem over here, and something which needs to be changed is first our own mindsets. As a women also, we should not ignore our health perspective, because we feel that yeah, women are actually strong pillars of any family. So if you are not healthy, if you are not in the best of your health and physical function, I think how you treat your family, how you manage that entire structure will be quite different. So it is important, just like other male members, kids, and everybody, it is important for us to take care of our own health also. And because of that, I think health perspective also needs to be changed. That is something I think I would like to emphasize upon.
Very true, ma'am. Thank you so much. Uh, my next question to Niragi, madam. Like, you have been teaching civil engineering students. I think you will find that there are more number of boys rather than girls. So, what can be done to motivate the girl students to pursue career in branches like the core branches like civil and mechanical engineering? What kind of scopes lie for them, for the girl students, and how do you persuade girls to take up such branches which are usually male dominant in our society?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It's a really worth question, and I actually, to be very frankly, I have observed last from 4 or 5 years. Actually, girl students are also taking an interest in civil engineering field. When I have joined in civil engineering in 1997, at that time in my class, out of 120, hardly we two girls were there, and as you told and Komal ma'am has told that we were feeling very awkward, and yeah, ये तो हो जाएगा ना, they were not considering us properly. Okay, but yes, of course, when I enter in my teaching field, last from 15 years, yes, initially when I was in Delhi, I couldn't find much students in civil engineering field, but yes, last from 5 years, the strength out of 120, we are finding civil engineering girls student 15 to 20 students are available in the classroom. So that is the big motivation. And now how I am encouraging as a after my PhD, yes, I understood what kind of research as a ladies we can do, and yes, as a ladies, which we are facing a problem that is in corporate world or in any private field, that definitely time limit, because yes, Madhuri ma'am has told that in during corona and pandemic time we were 24 by 7, we were round the clock here on our duty, right? We were working from home as well as we were working for our home as well. So but as a woman, yes, I am encouraging this civil engineering student that after my PhD, I understood that there are very vast field available. It's not that earlier that mentality was that the civil, that means only you have to go and you have to stand on site. So earlier that mentality was like that. So that's why girls were not entering into that civil engineering field. But now the field is very wide. Okay, so all types of now technology is very wide now. So all types of softwares are also available in any of the field. Right now, I am a structural engineer, so it doesn't mean that I have to work at the site. I can do design analysis everything by sitting in my office as well. So this kind of encouragement I used to give to the girl student every time who are coming under me, and they are coming to take any kind of guidance. The MTech students are coming, PhD students are also. I have girl PhD students also. Okay, and I used to encourage them, if you do not want to go into the private field which can disturb your personal life and professional life, then definitely you can choose this academic field, which is the best field for the women, right? Other than that, now corporate world is also very good, and they are understanding women also very well in the software area, in the IT field as well. That there are different types of software, transportation software available, in structural field our software is available, in construction software is available. So it doesn't mean that now you are civil engineer, so you have to go at the site only. You can sit in your office and you can work, you can manage, even you can start your own business as well as a form of consultancy. So this kind of guidance continuously I used to give to my civil engineering students. So no doubt that changes I have seen in my PDPU last from 15 years. Right now we have a 60 batch of students in civil engineering, and out of 60 batch we have a around 12 to 13 girl students is there. But yes, of course, the you can say gender ratio is still little less, but slowly they are motivating and they are taking the interest and they are entering into the field as well.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. It was an important
Yeah,
aspect wherein the girl students are not much participative into
yeah,
certain
yes,
fields.
yeah,
Maybe there is some social stigma also attached with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um,
Because actually nowadays this computer, IT and ICT, they are on boom right now. So
uh,
all are feeling that this IT job is a perfect job that we can sit on AC office and we can do. So people are preferring right now that job. But yes, without civil engineering, you cannot go on IT office also because we have to consider. So that kind of encouragement also I used to give that students also. So no doubt we are finding some improvement as well. So let's hope at least after some years we can be a 50%
we
student
have a
girl
good
student
ratio.
in civil engineering. Yeah. So gender ratio should be 50-50.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we conclude, one last direct question to Madhvi madam. As you said that in research we have have to work for long hours, timings are not fixed. So some tips on the trade-off basically for the work-life balance. So if you can give us some tips for how we can balance out the work and life, how we can manage it. So some tips on that, at how to trade off those things.
I think, Payal, this is a very important question, faced by any woman who is trying to work as a researcher and trying to achieve. And at many point of times, I have also struggled for this so-called work-life balance. But when you talk about a work-life balance, actually, my own theory is that there can never be an absolute balance between work and life. When you are putting more hours at workplace, naturally, you are losing to some things at a home place. But
True.
I have derived, kind of my own theory out of it. I look at the situation, where you are required the most, whether it is the work or the home. So that's how where you give your more importance to. So and I think everybody has to derive their own work-life balance in their own personal life, because there can never be a generalized theory. For example, when you have a kid, or when you have a home, for example, there are certain days where your presence is required more at home. For example, for the kids' education in some critical years, during their exam times, or for example, somebody is ill at the home. So naturally, your presence is required more at the home. So you have to give attention to home more. And there are certain periods, where your critical presence at work is required more. So at that time, you have to give your more interaction and inputs to your workplace. So there is no a single rule theory which can give you a work-life balance, but you will have to achieve your own work-life balance, in times to come.
True. We have to set up our own equations with our left hand side, right hand side variables so that the equal to mark remains as it is.
Yes.
True. So thank you all the speakers who have joined us today for this session. I thank you all. I thank you, Madhvi ma'am, for sharing us how women can pursue research. What are the pros and cons of doing research as a women, and it was wonderful interacting with you, madam. Next, I thank Dr. Niragi Dave. Coming from a civil engineering background, definitely would have been a tough job to climb up the ladder of success. Komal ma'am, thank you so much for all sharing your journey, as well as the various tips on like the how health centric women awareness can be created. And yeah, so thank you all, and thank you all those who have joined us through this Google Meet. Thank you, Poonam madam, for being there for this whole program, or this organizing it. We thank Dr. Narottam Sahu sir, advisor at GUJCOST, for his blessings for this program. And I wish you all a happy Women's Day and have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.